Hello everyone, Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures, out here in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, enjoying my morning walk, but most importantly this view that I come to, and I literally sit on this little cliff overlooking the sound. As you can see, what a sight, right? I normally do this walk extremely early in the morning, but been sleeping in late on vacation, why not? Today's video is going to be based on an article that I read this morning by the Aspen Institute. Aspen Institute put out a report on the amount of evictions that they're expecting in the United States. And the article, I won't even go into where the article was published that I actually originally read it, because I don't want to get into any political or ideological thoughts. But they're expecting 40 million evictions by the end of this year, assuming the courts start to open up at about 60 to 70% of the nation. Now, think about that. That's 40 million families. Now, let's assume that that's exaggerated. Even if it's cut in half, that's 20 million families that are expected to, assuming I'm cutting it in half, but the article says 40 million. 40 million people are going to be expected to, well, families will be expected to be kicked out of their homes. When you think about that, that's an enormous amount of families that are expected to be kicked out by the end of the year from their homes, right? Their habitat. Having said that, how do we as real estate investors position ourselves, one, to not get caught up in the fiscal craziness of losing tenants or evicting tenants? In addition to, how do we position ourselves to take advantage of that situation? And I know that sounds poor to say that we're looking to take advantage of evictions, but the reality is that that's what we do as real estate investors. I look at myself as not only, I'm a social worker as well as a financial advisor. When I walk in and I'm offering money on a property that is having a lot of difficulty financially making the needs, is paying mortgage payments, the insurance, the taxes, and everything else. That's what essentially we are as real estate investors. We're financial advisors and social workers. We're fixing and resolving other people's problems, for whatever that reason may be, for whether it be poor management on their behalf of the previous owners or lack of foresight. But the point of this video is primarily that we need to read as much as possible to position ourselves, one, not to be caught up in the windstorm of this COVID financial crisis, in addition to positioning ourselves to take advantage of the situation. Crisis breeds fear, and fear breeds opportunity. That's essentially what it comes down to. Hello, Joe. Thank you for watching. That's what we do as real estate investors. How do we take advantage and how do we position ourselves for every housing crisis? Or how do we anticipate those housing crises? You know, there's certain steps that I'm taking as a real estate investor that I've developed over 31 years of being a real estate investor since 1989. I suspect now what I may do doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work for you. Everyone has different risk tolerance levels. Everyone lives in a different state, as well as different cities, and everyone has different ideas of what their risk tolerance are. So you need to develop those plans or those ideas according to your situation. If you need any advice, of course, or what I do, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to share those tactics and those plans with you. I have no problems with paying it forward. I actually enjoy doing that. However, you know, again, the Aspen Institute published a report. There's many news outlets that are putting it out there for you to read. Some of it may be a little biased than others. 40 million evictions expected sometime before the end of the year. I don't think personally it's going to be that many, but assuming if it was even half of that, at 20 million, that's an enormous amount of families that are going to be kicked out of their habitats. And then what's the effect on the landlords, right? You know, there's a cost to that. And are those landlords financially prepared for those evictions, the financial cost of those evictions, and then to get it back on the market? And is the rental market going to be dropping as a result of so many evictions? these are all questions that this report left me in my mind, and how do I position myself? So again, reading, continuously educating yourself. Education doesn't stop when you get your degree at the high school level, college level, whatever level that may be. You know, I look at education. I heard somebody view of where I'm talking from. I look at Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment put out a post where he was saying, essentially saying, you know, education is like working out, a muscle build, a bodybuilder working out. Once you stop, you lose your muscle, right? So if you don't continuously educate yourself, just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're going to be successful, or that you stop educating yourself. So again, if you have any questions, Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures, feel free to reach out. I love paying it forward. We do have a YouTube channel that we just started. Has approximately 44 videos on right now. We're trying to do at least one per week. Hello, Nate. Thank you. I appreciate the support. But in either event, our YouTube channel is USA Land Ventures. We got about 44 videos up there. We're putting one per week, or sometimes two per week. And we're trying to keep them below 5 minutes so that we don't lose your attention span, essentially. And we're trying to pack as much information in those 5 minutes as possible. So again, Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures. Have a wonderful day.